What's up guys, Ben Bucks here. Today we're going to go over the 5 things I don't like about my Mustang GT. Previously I did a video about the 5 things I do love about my car. That's in the description below if you want to check out that video. But today we're going to go over the things I don't like about my Mustang. So before I get started, I do want to mention that the things I don't like about this car are just little. Overall I still love my car. I've had it for over a year now, and the things I don't like are just little, not huge deals. But again, no car is perfect, so there's always going to be those little quirks that bother you sometimes and wish you can kind of change. But overall, these little things that I don't like are not a big deal. So the first thing that I don't like about my car is sometimes when I'm driving it, it just feels really big. The way this car is proportioned and shaped out, it feels big when you're driving it. It's like, I always describe it kind of as like a foot-long hot dog. It just feels big. And at first, it was definitely different compared to what I was used to. But you get used to it after a while, but still sometimes it just feels kind of big. I've realized that maybe I wish it was just a bit smaller to drive. And usually when it kind of really bothers me is when I'm trying to park, especially this front view I have of the hood, because the hood's pretty long. So when I'm trying to park, I don't know when the front of the car ends. So sometimes parking can be difficult. I kind of have to guess where to stop, so I don't hit a curb, so I don't hit the front end of the car. I've gotten used to it. Maybe putting front parking sensors would help out if I really wanted to do it. Don't really want to spend the money on that. So that's one thing. It's not a huge deal. I think it just kind of what your preference is. But I do wish this car was a little bit smaller. Not a deal breaker, I got used to it, but one thing that sometimes it bothers me. So the second thing I don't like about my car is the Bluetooth connectivity. I never had a car with Bluetooth before, so when I got this I was really excited about it because I love playing music while I drive. Usually it doesn't give me a problem, but sometimes when I connect, or at least when I try to connect, it doesn't work. It's really weird. It doesn't happen often, but when it doesn't work, sometimes it goes straight to playing the radio, or it says I'm connected but nothing happens when I try to play something. It's really weird. Like I said, it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. I'm guessing it's just due to the age of the car and the technology. Yeah, most of the time it does work, but when it doesn't work, it's so annoying, because then I don't know how else to play my music. I have to listen to the radio, which I don't want to do that. I want to play my own music. So that's one thing that, a little quirk that I don't like. If it was a problem that occurred often, then I would have an issue with that and maybe bring it somewhere, because if I wouldn't be able to connect to Bluetooth, once you have it, you always want it. So when it doesn't work, it's really annoying. So the third thing that I don't like about my car is how expensive it is to own. And what I mean by that is mostly insurance. Insurance, will be different for everyone in every car, depending on your driving record and the car you drive, and also where you live, and your age, I think. But to insure this car in Connecticut, a sports car, high horsepower, big engine, insurance is a lot. That's a pretty expensive part of owning the car. In Connecticut, I do have to pay property tax for my car, which is a little less than $200, I think, every 6 months. So that's another annoying expense I have to pay, but so far running costs have been low for the car, so I've been lucky with that. So do expect to pay a little more when it comes to sports car ownership. So the fourth thing I don't like about my Mustang GT is the bumpy ride. Previously I did a video about the 5 things I do love about my Mustang. So let's be honest, you don't buy a car like this to, have it be a comfortable ride. It's gonna be bumpy, it's a sports car, that's what happens, but it's not a huge deal. It's not as uncomfortable as many people think or say, but especially when driving over bad roads, you feel a lot of bumps, and sometimes that can be annoying. Most of the time it doesn't bother me, but sometimes I do wish it was a little bit more of a cushy ride. But it's one thing that I wish could be better, and it really all comes down to this car having a live rear axle. If it was full independent suspension, the ride would be much smoother, which is what the newer Mustangs have, but this car still has the old school live rear axle. So the fifth and final thing that I don't really like about my car, this might kind of come off as silly and not really like an actual reason why you shouldn't like the car. But the fifth reason why what I don't like about my car is like how much I love my car. And what I mean by that is I love my car so much that, like, let's say when I go grocery shopping, I want to park far, far away from everything because I don't want any cars or carts coming like close to it, because I love it so much. I don't want like anyone near it because I don't want to get it scratched or any like, I just don't want anyone near it because I love it too much. I want to keep it as perfect as possible. So sometimes like I get anxiety when like there's too many cars parked around it, and I really baby this car, which sometimes is exhausting. It's almost like a full-time job. It's hard to keep a car pristine that you drive regularly, and I'm sure a lot of enthusiasts that own a car that they really love would agree with me that they get overly protective with the car that they really love. But of course, in the end, all the extra care is worth it because you get to have a car you really love. But having a beater car would be nice, just so I can have a car that I wouldn't care if it got hit or scratched or anything like that, or drive during bad weather so I wouldn't have to use the Mustang. So a beater car would be a nice way of kind of taking some anxiety off of owning this car, so I won't have to drive it in every situation. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.